Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, and we're here cruising for a Bruisin. What a road trip this has been. Me and Disabled Wolf out on the open land, two dudes kicking it back, chilling. Got good tunes, great smoke, good vibes, and awesome wrestling. What more could you want, really? And, Disabled Wolf had a little pit stop. He won. He saw some little trinket store along the way. I'm not supposed to really talk too much about it, but I guess he is sort of a collector of some weird and odd, antiques or something. I don't know. He saw some kind of shop. It caught his eye. I said, listen, I can't go in there. I'm going to knock something over. Something's going to break. I'll end up owning half of the store when I'm done. I'm not getting involved in all that, but I will drop you off, Shirley, and come back to you when I am done. And that's exactly what I am doing. So I dropped him off, and I am just, cruising. It is a beautiful, beautiful late afternoon, early evening. I can see the pink sunset. And like I said, we're just vibing. Smoking on some strawberry cough. Very fun strain. And you know how the Versace Stoner does it. But like I said, talking about cruising for a Bruisin, we've met some very interesting people along the way. And it's just been a great journey. It's been a fun time for me. I've really enjoyed all the people that I've talked to. They really are what make this industry so great. The wrestling industry, what you see on TV, that is good. And that will always be, what people I think may strive for, some people, but, for a lot of fans that don't connect with what's on TV, there is the indie scene to fall back on, and there is the indie scene to kind of get into, and that's kind of where I fit. I always catch WWE's main events. I always watch AEW. I love AEW, and WWE has its moments. Is it my favorite? No, I haven't really. It hasn't been my favorite since probably '99, but no. I don't like to really down talk because there's a lot of people that love WWE. And that's fine too. You can love multi-promotions. You can love all sorts of things. See, I'm not a lover of a promotion. I'm a lover of pro wrestling, and that means I like pro wrestling. I love it. And I love great wrestling, good wrestling. Every company makes mistakes. Every company has bad things. Here we are, though, right now. Let's take this. Well, hello.
Yo.
Is that who I think it is? Insane Dick Lane.
You're damn right. It's that meta-human, super villain, smoking, chillin', ready to kick things off here on the VSW.
Hell yeah, brother. See, this is what I was telling the people. We never know who we're running into on Cruising for a Bruisin'. We've seen all sorts of guys. We even ended up one night into the Dirt City. It was kind of scary. But now we run into you, and this is great. You're one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Ever since I first saw you in NCW, I don't remember the year, but I don't really remember the match, but I remember you were there, and I remember you had the purple gear, and you had the headband, and, you just really lit the place up.
Thank you, brother. It has been an honor to be invited here today.
Much an honor to have you. We love to have you on board, and I'm very glad that you answered me when I reached out because like I said, you are one of my favorite wrestlers. I've been now since that time. You've come a long way. I think, titles, different belts, different even other promotions I've gotten to watch you in. Really kind of grown in that. But let's talk a little bit about your wrestling roots. What got you into wrestling?
I have always enjoyed the art of professional wrestling since I was a young boy. When I first saw The Undertaker turn the lights out and make his way down the ramp super duper slow and then turn the lights back on. Typical typical wrestling fair stuff. But the thing that really got me into wrestling was in the 90s, the Monday Night Wars. I was a big WCW guy. I was really into WCW mid-card, WCW cruiserweights, Benoit, DDP, Raven, that kind of thing, Canyon. But yeah, that's what got me into it.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of fans today don't really realize that, there was two major companies. If you didn't like one, you could watch the other. And WCW was a powerhouse of talent. Even the names that weren't, previous WWE guys, like you said, that whole roster right there of mid-card, a lot of them ended up, going on even further to further their career. You also had, Eddie Guerrero mixed in there and, like, X-Pac thrown in.
All the guys that they stole from ECW were great. And that kind of got me into ECW as well.
Yeah, that was a good time, too. I used to go out to Philly once in a while. Crazy times. But, the wrestling business has changed. But, the game is still kind of the same.
Yeah.
So you watched this on TV and, maybe you went to some shows and such. So then you decided to start training?
Yeah. I went to NCW, which was right near where I was living. So I started going to a couple of NCW shows, and I started to think to myself, I was like, man, I could do this stuff. I need to find a way to do this. And I just so happened to run into T. Phoenix, who was starting RWA training at the time. And I started talking to him, and then I showed up, and then it's just never left.
Very nice. Yeah, we've been talking to a few people, and that name T. Phoenix has come up a few times. Some people call him, the RWA their home, and so forth. He's done a lot for the independent scene here in New England, I feel.
Yeah, he's a great leader. He's a mad scientist, booker. Yeah, I love him. My homie for life.
And that's great. I mean, all the promotions that I follow in New England all have that kind of a family feel vibe to them in the locker room. I can talk to almost anyone, and they'll be like, that's my brother, that's my sister, and I love to see that because that's important. I mean, if the wrestlers aren't happy with what's going on backstage, they're not going to give us a good show what's going on in the front.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no. So let me ask you. So, I mean, I saw you at the show. It was 2020, NCW season opener. You had previously won the title the year before. You beat Montero in the straitjacket, and then we come into the next season. And then after that, everything ended. The next show got canceled out. The world turned to mud. And everything got, canceled. How'd you deal with all that?
Yeah, that was terrible because at the same time, I was still going to training with Brickhouse at the RWA building, and we ended up losing that RWA building just because the owner of the building was selling it, so we could no longer rent that space. So at the same time that the pandemic started, and I started to lose bookings because of the pandemic, I was also lost my training at the same time. So it was a really tough year for me. Luckily, I was able to go to like a few tapings. I ran my own taping, which I haven't released yet. But
really?
I was able to, yeah.
That's very awesome.
Yeah, it's a secret show that I like to call Dick Lane Super Awesome Show. Great job. But I might come up with a DVD or release it to YouTube. I don't know yet.
That's awesome. I love to always see how, everybody stayed creative and did stuff. And I call, they call it the pandemic era of wrestling. I think a lot of companies thrived in a little bit in that, I got to see you in Maine on, one of their tapings. That was great for a lot of people. The road, pandemic at the dojo. Early on in that pandemic, it gave a lot of guys a place to go and showcase. NCW soon after came with Behind Closed Doors. And then, you had Chaotic and Beyond and a couple others running tape shows. We don't really get that. Usually we get once a month, and then we get some promos in between on social. it's been great for the fans to actually be able to like follow a weekly episodic of the independent scene.
Yeah, it was really cool, and like it's been great to see all these promoters adjust to the times and have these tapings and get them out there and give people some wrestling during a time where they can't go see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's definitely helped me, and Disabled Wolf, like I was saying to the fans earlier, we've been traveling on the road, and he likes to collect these little trinkets. I don't know how to explain them, but he saw some kind of, and going from there. But yeah. So what are you looking forward to most now?
Well, I just had a baby a few months ago.
Oh, congratulations.
So, thank you very much. So I've had my hands full doing that stuff, but I am returning to action later this month on the 24th for Restless Laboratory, and that's in New Jersey.
Oh, wow. We are actually going to be at that show. We got tickets.
Nice. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to do my first live show with them. I did a taping for them, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because they're a great company.
They really are. They've been one of like these companies I just kind of stumbled upon during the pandemic and started following them and, following the whole alchemy journey. And they've been just really one of those wholesome companies. I can see every post, and, the wrestlers appreciate it, the fans appreciate it. It's a lot of the toxicity that, that can be in this community, I would say, doesn't exist there. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, very cool place, very open-minded place. Yeah, and like they present themselves, they are a very experimental sort of wrestling company. They have a lot of different crazy gimmicks, a lot of different wrestlers from different areas. So it's a really kind of unique show that they got going.
Yes, yeah, and that's that's what I was trying to tell somebody the other day. I started watching wrestling, I would say probably around WrestleMania 2. That's a long time ago, but I mean, what really got me probably was around 89, 90, and what it wasn't so much the wrestling that was taking place, but the larger than life gimmicks that were on stage. You had these giants, you had these the snakes, people with birds. You had, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, yes. But you also had all these, like, even other characters as it got on, like Max Moon and Papa Shango. All these just great, colorful, creative creatures just, coming out and doing their thing. And I think that's what really, like, got me into it. I'm like, wow, this is just really creative. And you had all of these characters. And, as the time's gone on, it got definitely more athletic, and people cared more about the athletic aspect of it. But for me, it's always been the gimmicky kind of, crazy, wild things. And that's why I think draws me to the lab. You do have these wild people like Big Calix and, all these crazy, funny dudes like Dickie Moon and such.
Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon.
Pete Dak, yes. He's another one of my favorite independent wrestlers on the scene. He doesn't like to do interviews, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll do it, but you got to pay him money.
It wasn't even that. He told me he had nothing to talk about. I was like, we can just say your name then. That's fine. We can fill in the rest of it.
All right, I'll stop putting him over. That's a bum-ass move. I don't appreciate that. Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. I'm going to give you invisible choke slam on the behalf of the Stoner.
See, and then to boot, we sponsored the guy for the Restless Lab, as we sponsored you too, because I do like you guys. And then to boot, he goes off and gets himself suspended. I'm not even gonna get to see him wrestle. He got himself suspended.
Yeah, he was in the ring. He was in the middle of the ring injecting his thigh with steroids in the middle of the match. I've never seen anything like it.
Come on. I mean, what is that? I mean, like I'm saying, I told the lab, just keep my money. It's fine. We appreciate it, guys. But next time, let me know if I'm sponsoring someone that's breaking the rules or something. I'd like to pick somebody else, someone I can enjoy watching actually wrestle.
Yeah, like my tag team partner, the Freak Show, Sean Leader.
Yes, that's going to be very exciting. And speaking of Sean, we just signed excellent movie with all you guys on Proving Ground with the Dick Busters.
Oh man, yeah.
How was working on that film? Because as watching it as a fan, I have to say, it was a range of emotion. I had happiness and sadness, and just kind of like, even at some points, was a little scared.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were all a little bit better at acting than we thought we were, so that was a plus. Obviously, Todd is amazing with the camera work and with the editing of the film and the effects and stuff.
He's the true mad scientist.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We filmed half of it at Tom Billington's house, half of it in my basement. Yeah, but it was a crazy experiment. And Todd is a madman, and he's very particular about what he wants. But all the stuff that he asked us to do made the movie came out great.
Yeah, and it really did. He really put a lot of work into it. You could see that. But, everything that Todd does come out great. It might take a little extra time sometimes, but it does. It comes out on point.
He's a perfectionist.
He is. I bought a custom figure from him at one point of Mike Montero, and it took him a bit to make it, but, it's beautiful. You can't get that kind of quality.
Yeah, because he's in his house hand-painting these figures, custom order, and he's... putting in like the war hammer paint hours.
Yeah, and I mean it's just great to see people with that kind of dedication and just the love of it. At some point it just comes down to it. You got to love what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
And Todd's definitely one of those people that loves what he's doing. And I always like to see what's going on with Proving Ground. I'm waiting. I think Monday is going to be ticket release sales. That show's coming back live.
Oh, yeah?
So where else you been wrestling at, and are we going to see you? Are we going to see you on RW4? That's being released this week, I heard, too.
RW4?
Reunion Wrestling. Mac Attack.
I think I was not on the last show. I believe the last show I wrestled for them was already released. No, I'm not sure, actually.
I know we saw you on 3. I think 4's coming out in Monday. I don't know the card. I was just wondering...
I did wrestle a zombie at one point for them, and I'm wondering, I'm not sure if they released it yet. So if it's the show I think it is, I am on it, and I'm wrestling a zombie. So you can look forward to that.
So we might be seeing you on there with a member of the Undead. That will be great fun. We always like to see that kind of stuff here at the VSW. Really do. Let me ask you something out. Let me ask you this out. You said now, you're a father now, and that's congratulations again. That's huge. I became a father a couple of years ago, and there's nothing like it in the world. There really isn't.
No, there's nothing that can prepare you.
No, there's nothing that can prepare you. And let me ask you, has this changed your outlook on how you look at wrestling and how you look at like what you do in the ring and how risky you might want to take yourself?
I mean, I'm not really the type of wrestler that does the type of things where I put myself in the position to get hurt, because I am more of a comedic style wrestler. I do try to do, athletic spots and do cool maneuvers and stuff, but it's at the same time, I'm the type of performer.
It's well in your comfort zone.
Yeah, the type of stuff that I do, I am very comfortable doing, and I don't feel like I'm going to get hurt. I'm not the type of dude that's like, all right, let's do a 450 to the outside, brother.
Yeah, and you're not fighting. I don't think I've ever seen a Dick Lane death match anywhere.
Yeah.
And most of the times you can beat these guys without even putting your hands on them, which is always a plus, and that you were probably the number one, person getting booked during COVID because you didn't have to touch the other guy.
Exactly. It was a very opportune time for me.
And yeah, we love that. And so let me ask you something. With everything open, is there any people you have on your radar that you would love to have matches with?
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to working. What's his name? Cross. Ness Lopez.
Yep.
I'm also his partner and former partner of Mike Ross, Smiley, another guy I'm a huge fan of. And of course, if I get my big money match, I want Danhausen.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be a very entertaining match.
Yeah, I think that we both have the same type of character and style, and it would mesh pretty well.
Yeah, it would. And he's not like a very big guy, but he's very he can wrestle.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they announced him at a show I'm going to on the 31st. I've never met him personally, but I've heard everybody that says that they've met him. He's just one of a kind to meet, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm also looking forward to getting my hands on that slimy piece of trash, Tony Spencer, because he's been talking a lot of trash at me for the past few years at this point, and I still haven't gotten my hands on them yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I tell you, Tony's a weird character.
He is.
He's still defending that title. I saw what he did to Isana. That wasn't too nice. But I shouldn't really... I'm going to talk about it because it is kind of one of those weird wrestling moments. It's kind of funny. And who knows? He's probably never going to listen to my podcast anyways. So a while back, he hits me up through the old messenger asking me, he's like, look, I've talked to a few promoters in the area. I've talked to some few other guys. Do you think you can find me anywhere a Panda Bear that I can wrestle, have a cinematic match with, and we'll go from there? So he had me looking around for people, and it's in like the $30,000 to $40,000 range to rent a Panda Bear.
Listen, there's those guys that were on AEW with the Panda gimmick. You can just grab those guys. They'll probably be a couple $100.
That's what I told him. He says, no, he wants the real Panda Bear. I'm like...
The real Panda.
I'm like, look, okay, there's animal activists. This isn't the 80s. You're not Sidney Bacabella. You're not able to wrestle a live dancing bear.
You might have to travel to, Russia to wrestle a bear.
Yeah, I found a couple in California that have a Panda Bear, happen to have one. And they want to no, this guy can't wrestle my bear. That's my baby. I'm like, okay, I understand that. That's they're an endangered species. I wouldn't want him wrestling Tony Spencer.
The bear would beat the crap out of him.
Well, that's the other thing. That's a liability. These bears, while they are cuddly and cute, will rip you to shreds.
I think the bear would be walking out of the building with that Bay State Championship.
Most likely. And the Granite State Championship. I think he'd be walking away with 2 belts.
Hey, don't forget that Tony Spencer is also still Turds of Wrestling champion. Don't ever forget that.
That is true. And, that was one of my favorite groups during the pandemic. It really kept me going in the beginning until it just kind of turned left and south. But that happens in all the communities any which way. But that was a fun time. And, we all got together, got to, make some jokes and have a good laugh and too. And,
Yeah, I am still glad I did that. I'm still glad I made that group because it was so much fun. It was one of the best moments of the pandemic.
It is, and I met a lot of great people in there. I met Al Baracho, and I still talk to him, and, he was a great guy. And a few other of the guys I still keep in contact with. But, yes, he was the Turds of Wrestling champion. And, I think he still has a shirt up for that somewhere in one of his shops. And also, don't forget, he is nominated to most likely be Mayor McCheese.
That is completely ridiculous. Tony Spencer is in no position to be Mayor McCheese. That's all I gotta say.
He's not in the position, but he is in the position to make money off of Mayor McCheese. He sold a shirt on his shirt site with Mayor McCheese logoing and writing.
Yeah. I wouldn't believe him. I just think he's trying to get publicity.
Oh, yeah. I don't believe him any more than I believe, Dan Terry, really.
I did do an in-depth documentary where I searched for the identity of Mayor McCheese that you can find on YouTube, along with Wackest Plays in the Game.
Oh, that is another great show, by the way, for our audience. If you've never seen his Wackest Players in the Game, you can get to know them all in Dick Lane's channel on his YouTube. We're going to have all the links up here on this video that people are going to be able to follow you on, just to let you know. They're going to be able to buy your merch with the click of a button. They're going to be able to, go and maneuver through we're kind of doing like Linktree kind of stuff where they can go and see all your stuff.
Hell yeah. Big shout out to BigDaddyTees.com, hooking up all of his boys with the t-shirt designs.
Oh, yeah. That will be up there. We're going to give him a free commercial spot as well. He helps a lot of the independent stars get their designs up and out without, gouging like the PWT can do. And plus, you don't need the notability. PWT requires people to have a certain amount of followers, fans. If you're an independent wrestler, you don't have that exposure in the beginning. You don't have 1 million fans because you're not in front of 1 million people.
Exactly.
You might have 50 to 500 because that's all you've been exposed to. Here at the VSW, that's what we thrive to do, is expose anybody that, is in the game, to get them bigger, get them on a bigger stage. If our podcast is that platform to get them to the next level, great. If it gets them 10 more fans, awesome. Whatever it can do, that's what we made this for.
Hell yeah, that's a great attitude to have. That's a very positive thing that you're doing for wrestling.
Oh yeah, we love it here at BSW. Like I said, is and the other guy, if he ever gets out to that damn knick-knack store, he'd tell you, it runs in his blood. But but yeah, so we started to do this whole Cruisin for a Bruisin tournament and kind of thing where we got on, made some calls and reached out to some people. And basically what we're going to do is a little contest at the end. We're going to break all these videos up, and whoever gets the most views in a month is going to get $100 cash clean.
I'm going to put my money. I know I'm confident in myself, but I think I got to put my money on Love Doug with this one. Love
Doug is very, very over with this. He is there. Your arch nemesis, Tony Spence, is also in there. And then we got some people from down south in there, and we got some people from way up north in there. And we got some other local people. We talked with Tough Daddy. He's a very nice guy.
He's a crazy dude.
He is, but
Tough Daddy.
He is crazy.
I haven't encountered him too much, but I know him through the Mac Attack and have seen him. His gimmick is real.
Oh, yeah, there's no gimmick about it. He's tough as nails. Dude was talking with us he was telling us how he started and how he got into it and, what he does, and he's as real as they come. And who else we got? We got that River Rat Juggalo, TJ Tucker. He's another Mac Attack guy.
Oh, man, that guy keeps trying to recruit me to his Juggalo stable. And I'm like, listen, man, Dick Lane is already in too many stables. I got Steve the Turtle with the Turtles at the time. I got the Dick Busters, I can't keep joining stables.
No. I mean, 2 stables is more than enough. 3 is way too many. But I'm sure they would love you to be in there. I mean, I'm sure you're probably wanted in many stables.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
So, anyways, let me go back. So, I mean, most of the time I've seen you in singles competition, but now in the Restless Lab, you're tagging up?
Yeah. I've teamed with Sean Leader several times at the RWA.
Yep.
A few times for PG. But yeah, this is a shot on a larger stage. We didn't get the job done against the main state posse, but we're looking to get things rolling at this next show.
They're a tough team, they've been in the game for a while, and and even
they're one of the best.
They are one of the best, and even they kind of failed at the last show trying to get what they wanted to accomplish against Garcia and Blackwood. So I mean, everybody has their trials and tribulations in this game, no matter how big or small you think. Yeah. And but we are just about out of time here. But I do want to ask you one more thing. The Wolf has been asking everybody on this show, and that is, why should you, out of all the wrestlers on the card, stand out and win the inaugural Cruisin for a Bruisin accolade?
Because I'm the only wrestler on this thing with superhuman powers, and if you don't vote for me, I will know through the power of telepathy and I will use my telekinesis to kill you with my mind.
Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, shit, I'm going to vote for Dick. I suggest you vote for Dick. I don't want my brains fried from afar.
If I don't kill you with my mind, I will at least scramble your brain and make you think that you are a small ferret.
See, that's even worse than blowing your brains, you know. Now you're just in a world of fantasy. So everybody, go out, vote Dick Lane.
Yes, do that. Now, please.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you on our show.
Thank you so much for having me, Stoner. It was a wonderful time. Thank you. I will come back whenever you want.
Great to hear. Have a great night.
You too, brother. See ya.
Wow, what a great interview. One of our favorites. Insane Dick Lane. And yeah, we are trying to get a Panda Bear for Tony Spencer. We are going to work on that. But in the meantime, we got more cruising for our Bruisin to be doing. I think I see the Zeewolf calling in on my phone. I'm going to go pick him up. We're going to go get a bite to eat. I'm starving. And we're going to see what else we can find on this trail. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Versace Stoner out.